So the greed and incompetency of the nobles was also one of the most dangerous or affecting causes of Delhi Sultanate. Fine. Then defective military organization. There were defects. So defective military organization. Then vastness of empire and poor means of communication. Vastness of empire, but poorness of communication. So in between the different parts, right, there was no communication. There was all time, in every ruler's time period, there was financial instability. Financial instability. Right. You know, during Firoz Tughlaq's reign, he had increased the number of slaves, which was 1,80,000. Right, and that had been a huge burden on the treasury. Right. So, increased slaves. How much? 1,000. Sorry, 1,80,000. 1,80,000. So it was burden to the treasury. It was a burden to the treasury, and obviously invasion of the Timur. So invasion of Timur. So Timur had really given a blow to Delhi Sultanate. The decline of Delhi Sultanate. Now see, as I said in the beginning of Delhi Sultanate, that parallelly there were some other kingdoms as well. Right, I will just mention the names. Very is Vijayanagar and some other kingdoms. Right, so Vijayanagar Empire, who had Sangama dynasty, who had Saluva dynasty, who had Tuluva dynasty, then Krishnadeva dynasty, or Krishnadeva was there. Later on, Arvidu dynasty. Right, so these were some of the other dynasties which had been in the Vijayanagar, right, kingdom or Vijayanagar empire. Parallelly, there were some of the religious movements. Right, for example, the religious movements in particularly in the Bhakti movement by Bhakti saints, right, then Sufi saints, of Maharashtra Dharma, then Sufi movement. Right. So these are some of the parallel things which you can consider. Fine. Since we have reached to 1526, so subsequently what had happened, that we will consider, right? So here by this battle, that is by 1526, the Delhi Sultanate had been declined, right? And therefore the later on time period you can consider as Mughal period, right? So lateral time period you can consider as Mughal period, so which was from 1526 to 1540. Again it was ended, right, for some time, and then it had started in 1555, which was ended in 1857, right? So 26 to 14 only 26 to 14 only 15 years, and now here for hundreds of years you can consider. Fine. So this is what the Mughal period is. So Daulat Lodi had invited Babur to throw away Ibrahim Lodi, and accordingly Babur had defeated Ibrahim Lodi and killed in the first battle of Panipat, that is in 2020, and he had established, or the foundation of Mughal rule in India was laid by Babur, right? So very first in this you can consider is Babur, right? So Babur, who had from 1526 to 40, 1526 to 40, right? So this is the case you can consider as far as the establishment of the Mughal, right? So Babur had founded, so foundation of Mughal rule in India. So Babur had founded this. So who was the Babur? Babur was the descendant of Timur, right, from the side of his father, and he was also descendant of Genghis Khan from the side of his mother, right? So you can consider these two kings, or these two rulers, right? So Babur was descendant of Timur, and so he was descendant of Timur, right, from side of his father, and descendant of the Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan, right, from the side of his mother, right? So this is what you can consider about Babur. If anybody wants, you can. Done? Fine. So Babur had defeated Ibrahim Lodi in the first battle of Panipat, right, which was in 1526, exactly in the month of April, on 21st April 1526, and established Mughal dynasty, right, which lasted till the establishment of British rule in India. Now see what Babur had done. So in 1526, he had a battle of Panipat. In 1527, he defeated Rana Sanga of Mewar at Khanwa. In 1528, he defeated Medini Rai of Chaneri at Chanderi. In 1529, he defeated Muhammad Lodhi, who was uncle of Ibrahim Lodhi, at Ghagra. And in 1530, he died at Agra. Right? He died at Agra. So this is what you can consider 26, 27, 28, and 29. So successively in 4 years, he had 4 different kinds of battles, right? And he had expanded the Mughal rule, fine. But in 1530, he died at Agra. So he had adopted Tughluma and the flanking party system, right? And who was the first? Babur was the first to use gunpowder and artillery in India, right? So he had adopted Tughluma, right? And he was the first to use gunpowder and artillery in India. He had written his autobiography. Name was Tuzuk-e Babri in Turkish, right? So in Turkey, in which he gives an excellent account of India and his empire. So Tuzuk-e Babri was translated in Persian, whose name in Persian is Babarnama by Abdul Rahim Khane-Khana, and it was also translated in English by Madame Beveridge. He had also compiled 2 anthologies of poems, right? Anthologies of poems, that is published collection of poems. Their names were Diwan, which is in Turkey, and Mubayyan in Persian. He had also written Risale-e-Yusas, right, which is also called the Letters of Babur. So this is what you can consider about Babur. Right. So who was descendant of Timur and Genghis Khan. Right. So he established Babur had established Mughal dynasty. Mughal dynasty, right, which lasted till the establishment of the British rule, right, in 26. So in 1527, he defeated Rana Sanga, who was of Mewar at Khanwa. In 1528, he defeated Medini Rai of Chaneri at Chanderi. In next year, 1529, he defeated Muhammad Lodhi right, who was uncle of Ibrahim Lodi at Ghagra. At Ghagra. Right. So this is what you can have: Khanwa, Chanderi, Ghagra. Right. So this is what you always consider about the reign of Babur, how he expanded, how he established Mughal dynasty and expanded it, right? So this is what you can always consider. In 1530 he died, right? So he was the first to use gunpowder and artillery in India. In India. Right. So he had written an autobiography. Name of the autobiography is Tuzuk A Babri. Tuzuk A Babri. Okay. So what is this one? This gives excellent account of India and his empire. Right. So it was translated in two. Right. Name is Babarnama. Right. By Abdul Rahim Khanekana. Abdul Rahim Khanekana. Abdul Rahim Khanekana. And in English, right, by Madam Beveridge. Babur had compiled two anthologies of poems. Right. So first name you can consider Diwan, right, which was in Turkey language, and second you can consider Mubayyan, which was in Persian language. He had also written Risal-e Usus, which is nothing but letters of Babur. Right. So this is what you can always consider about the Babur. Next, son of Babur, whose name was Humayun. So he had ascended the throne in 1530 on death of Babur. So his succession was challenged by his brothers Kamran, Hindal, and Askari, right, along with some of the Afghanis, right? So he had fought 2 battles against Sher Shah at Chausa and at Kannauj, right? So Chausa in 1539 and Kannauj in 1540, and he was completely defeated by Sher Shah, right? And therefore later on he escaped to Iran, where he had passed 12 years of his life in exile, right? Haddaparimane, in exile. So after Sher Shah's death, Humayun invaded India in 1555. Therefore, you see the gap, that is a gap in the Mughal dynasty or Mughal period, that is from 1526 to 40 and 1555 to 1857. Right? So that gap was filled by Sher Shah. Right? So that would be the case you can always consider. So after Sher Shah's death, Humayun invaded India in 1555 and defeated his brothers, right, as well as the Afghans. So he once again became the ruler of India, right? But he died while climbing down the stairs of his library in 1556, and he was buried in Delhi. So he had been the what we can consider ruler, right, from 1530 to 40 and 1555 to 56, right? So he had built Din Panah at Delhi as a second capital, right? So this is the case you can always consider about Humayun, right? So probably we will consider it in next session. Right. So okay, let's stop. Yeah, and tomorrow
Sir, please screen share.
हे दिसत नाही का व्यवस्थित?
नाही ना सर.
नाही सर, क्लिअर नाही दिसत आहे.
दोन्ही किती एकही नाही ना, मग 2-3 पेज का?
हाँ सर.
ठीक है, जस्ट अ मिनट.